Welcome back to Boruto and Review, episode number 78. This one we're reviewing the 79th episode of the series, Reunion with Mitsuki. Now, unlike last week's episode, we don't cut back to the Hidden Elite Village at all. Excuse me. Mostly this episode is just set in a couple different areas. First, you see Boruto, Shikadai, and Sadara face off against the guy with the long black hair. I think his name is Kuduru, I think his name is. They fight him for the first half of the episode. And then we also see, before we get to the second half of the episode, we see briefly Mitsuki with Shikikai. I think it's how you pronounce the person's name. Yeah, talking to him for a little while, and apparently it's revealed he actually can talk to these creatures that have been popping in the past few episodes. Yep. Also, during the fight with Konoha, Boruto, Shikadai, and Sadara take out the creature and then focus on attack on him. And after a little while, then all of a sudden Chocho and Inogen show completely out of nowhere. Yeah, of course, Chocho does her ball, going to a little ball move, which I think her father was known for doing several times over the course of the series, going to a giant ball, which it was revealed during the tuning exam. She doesn't like doing this move very much at all. Nope, she prefers to do the expansion jutsu. Yeah. And of course, after a little while of battling him, Team 10 retreats. Yep, as for the fight with Siki, yeah, this lasts for a pretty good period of time, and all of a sudden, Boruto summons Garga, a guy who he just formed a contract with just the previous episode, at least. Yeah, it was just a couple episodes back. He just formed a contract with him. And then, he summons, he doesn't do much of anything except just knock out a couple of explosives. He even disobeys Boruto because he isn't, yeah, he's just I'll take orders, but I'll make you my underling. Yeah, it seems like it's going to be a similar relationship between Boruto and Gargantua as it was with Naruto and Boss Toad. Yep. Yeah, it seems like it's going to be a pretty similar relationship between the two of them, which I don't mind that, but at least it's different type of species instead of a freaking giant toad. And then, what it seems like even though they took down Shiki, all of a sudden, Mitsuki shows up completely out of nowhere, knocks out the kunai out of Boruto's hand, and Boruto tries to get back his ninja headband, slaps it away, gives him some lightning jutsu to the chest, and throws against a rock. And Sadara was shocked to see this. And of course, Gargantuan is he's laughing at this. He kind of expected this to be happening. As for why he did this, he says, "It's my will." Seriously? That's not a reason. That is probably just a writer just extending this, just dragging this arc out. Though I did see the next episode, Kuritsuchi's going to show up and she's going to fight against the hidden Stone Village version. It looks like a combination of the character Lord Ku, I think his name is, where he's a combination of Orochimaru and Danzo. Yeah, she's going to get fight with him. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a civil war in the Hidden Stone Village next episode. That's going to be a lot more interesting than this. This episode was just okay. It did feel like it was advancing the plot forward, but man, it's kind of okay, this arc has been going on now for about 5-6 episodes, and it just feels like we're not getting much progression in the course of what Mitsuki is doing with these people. Apparently Lord Q wants to meet with them for some reason. We don't know why. And we're about 6-7 episodes in, and we still don't know the reason. Yeah. It's almost like this episode was just... the pacing of the episode was fine. I don't have a problem with the pacing of this episode. The writing was okay, but it just seemed like they want to drag this out even further. It's like they're dragging their feet with this arc. We heard about this arc prior to this, but I had heard about this about a few months ago when this was announced. They were going to do this arc right after they did the tuning exam, which was not a bad idea for them to do. But I would have thought maybe they would cut back to Hidden Leaf Village like they have been the past 2 episodes. This episode, nope. No Hidden Leaf stuff. Not at all. I thought when I heard a female voice, I thought it was freaking Sakura with Choji. Nope, it's Chocho. Yep. So yeah, this was just an okay episode. It's just not as great as it has been. And next week's episode, from the look of it, it looks like it's gonna be it's gonna be a much better episode than this one was, because I would say overall of the entire arc so far, this is by far the weakest episode of this entire arc, because it doesn't feel like though not much progression happened in this episode. No, it just feels like this episode's dragging its feet. I don't know why, but they are. Yeah, otherwise that's really it for this particular review. Stay tuned next week for episode number 79, where I review the 80th episode of the series. Yep, 80th episode. Yeah, it looks like that next year possibly we'll be celebrating the 100th episode of the series. Hopefully the series is something really good for the 100th episode. Okay. My next review I'm going to do is the newest episode of JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. Okay. But to see you next review. Bye.